May I then ask Mr. Swart to come in? Other members of the committee, anyone would like to make a comment? Mr. Swart, please proceed.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you for allowing me the brief input. I think it's very clear from all these submissions that of the submissions today from various faiths that no one has supported the CRL's proposal. It is also very clear from your input, Chair, that the previous Portfolio Committee rejected the proposals from the CRL. And in that regard, I would recommend a motion to Parliament to revive the work of the previous Portfolio Committee. That is, I'm speaking now as a whip of Parliament, that is the normal thing that can be followed should the committee so desire. Secondly, it's very clear that there are abuses taking place. Chair, I would suggest this Portfolio Committee also meets with the Justice Portfolio Committee, where I am a member, to discuss loopholes that may exist in the criminal justice sector that were referred to, and how to enhance the implementation of existing laws. That, I think, is something to look into. I think there are, from our perspective, sufficient laws. It is the implementation of these laws. From our perspective, Chair, we do not think that the proposal of the CRL is the way to deal with abuses. We've now also heard very clearly, Chair, that since the previous Portfolio Committee, COGTA, there's been significant improvements in self-regulation. And we need to take cognizance of the Code of Conduct under the Charter, of SACOF's input, 24,000 church members. That is very significant. Churches that are now under a body, as well as the inputs from other faiths. Chair, I think it's very clear for the committee to deliberate and come out very strongly at a certain stage that it rejects any state regulation of religion under the guise of self-regulation, as this would clearly be unconstitutional. And that was the reason why it was rejected in the previous Portfolio Committee. Chair, I'm also deeply concerned about public utterances of the CRL Chair. I myself, as a Christian believer, find them highly offensive, and I do believe that it warrants an inquiry by this Portfolio Committee, and I would strongly urge you to consider that. So, Chair, I would briefly just recommend the revival of the report of the previous Portfolio Committee through a motion to Parliament, make it clear that Parliament did not accept the CRL report in the previous Portfolio Committee, and that this Portfolio Committee will now be engaging on the work of that Portfolio Committee, plus going forward. Meet with the Justice Portfolio Committee to deal with criminal justice issues. And the Section 22, Chair, we've now heard from the chairperson of the Section 22. Serious lapses. If I was on the committee, I would ask for a full set of minutes and hold an inquiry into that issue as well. It is deeply disturbing what is happening. And may I just conclude, Chair, by quoting from a judgment of Prince versus the Law Society of Cape Town, which 2002. This is very important. The state, and that is us as Parliament including, where it is reasonably possible, should seek to avoid putting believers to a choice between their faith and respect for the law. And Chair, any move of state regulation of religion would amount to us as believers being put into conflict, possibly with the law, and that we want to avoid at all costs. Chairperson, that is the position of the ACDP at this very preliminary stage, and I thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Mr. Swart.